Okay, why is this video entitled The Power of the Bounce Play and the Weakness of Half a Brain? I think you'll see it's pretty clear here. We had 5 bounce plays on watch, okay? In other words, I didn't have any shorts on watch going into today. I was purely thinking long because the S&P had been selling off, volume was accelerating. So what I did was pick about 5 stocks for our overnight watch list, put it on the member page there, and I'll go through those 5 stocks in a minute and show you the power of the bounce play, okay? HTZ, pretty good sell-off here, pretty good shape, pretty good volume, down to recent resistance, or recent, back in November, December, the area, $12 area. Pretty good area for possible support, plus the 200-day, okay? Add today's candle in, very, very nice bounce. Now, how do we play these on an intraday basis? Okay, let me switch to 5-minute candles. I'm only looking for one thing when I call a bounce play, okay? So if HTZ opens up and doesn't give me that one thing, I won't even be taking it. Even if it does give a nice bounce, if it doesn't give me. So anyway, here we go. The one thing. What do I want is a narrow range for at least the first 30 minutes of trading, okay? HTZ absolutely complied. You can just kind of draw a little circle, oval, whatever you want to call it, around the trading range. Here's the 30-minute mark of the day, right about here. Here's the opening candle. So this is where it opened. This is about 30 minutes in, and it went past 30, which is fine, because all I'm wanting to do is look at the established high for the first 30 minutes. I want a narrow range, and then I want to buy a break of the early high. So HTZ complied using our methods. 1244 entry. Stop goes, excuse me, basically below this base at 1224. 20 cents risk from 1234 all the way up to whatever the high was, almost 1320. All right. Let's look at SanDisk. Second one of our bounce plays. All right. This was just almost a capitulation looking down below recent support, but it had fallen a long way to get there, so I liked SanDisk as a potential bounce today. Remember what we're looking for. 5-minute candles. I'll scroll over to the 30-minute mark right there. Okay, we have it again. I can even scroll out a little bit, but we have it again. We've got a fairly narrow range for the first 30 minutes. What's the entry? Break of the 30-minute high, or the high established in the first 30 minutes, 31.99. Stop's going to go below the most recent low, 31.69. So 30 cents risk. All right, let's look what happens. 31.99 triggers, and SanDisk just off to the races. Ends up going up almost a buck on 30 cents risk. Okay, there's another one. What was another one? IR was on our bounce play list. Okay, now IR. Scoot over. This is what it looked like. I had even a trend line drawn here, so I really liked IR. Plus, it was crazy strong back here. Good candidate for a bounce. Switch to 5-minute candles. Now, this is a scenario where we didn't have our narrow range. We'll scroll out a little bit farther, but look at the shape of it versus the other ones. Okay, if you just connect the bottoms of the candles and the tops of the candles, this one was right out of the gate strong. Okay, so you don't have that narrow sideways move and then a break after 30 minutes. Now it kept going higher, but this is one that I would not have taken. Okay, next one, MCP. Now this one I couldn't find support on the daily, but it just had that PFPD, or what we call potential final push down shape to it. Grinding lower, and see how they. Yeah, let me draw a line. This is a great way to find a potential bottom. Draw a line loosely connecting the tops. Now see what happens here? See the shape change? That's what we look for all the time in chat. Even using 5-minute candles, we look for that grinding lower and then the shape change and the bigger volume. Okay, these are daily candles, but it still applies. Okay, so then you can see MCP bounced as well. Let's go 30 minutes in. We had what we're looking for, right? You had a narrow range for the first 30 minutes. So what's the entry? A break of the high established in the first 30 minutes, 1989 if it gets there, and stop goes below the most recent low, 1958. So about 30 cents risk, 1989. Look at this thing, all the way to 21.67. Beautiful move there on a very low risk. And then the last one was Avon. Avon had on Bounce Watch 2. It ended up gapping down today, but near recent lows. So one of our all-stars, Wayne, was watching this, okay? And actually, rather than you didn't have the narrow range for the first 30, but since this was getting down near 16 support, Wayne called it, one of our all-stars, so you get a chime in a different colored font, called it over this candle here, 1620. Worst case stop below this candle, 1611, and this shows why Wayne's an all-star. 1620. Now, it took all day, wasn't a big mover. over short periods of time, but from 1620 to 1694. Okay, 74-cent move on, what did I say the risk was? Something like 20 and 11, 9 cents risk. So fantastic call by Wayne. Okay, now what did I mean by and half a brain? All right, what I meant by half a brain was, here's the embarrassing part, I have been so adamant about looking for early unusual volume, okay, that I'm trying to build a list for the room to try to find stocks in play for that day, if you will. Now, the whole market bounced today, so of course all the bounce plays work. Matter of fact, let me show you the SPY. You can see the SPY we basically had on Bounce Watch 2, and the SPY put in a nice candle there, closing right at its highs. So that's why they worked, but we were right to have these bounce plays on watch, expecting a bounce in the SPY. All right, having said all that, I've been so adamant about building a list of unusual volume in play stocks for the day that I disregarded my overnight list and didn't have any of them on a chart in front of me. We did have a member, Kevin, that pointed to Hertz HTZ right when it was getting ready to trigger. So probably had some members getting that one, but myself, the moderator of the chat room, did not call one of these. I was looking elsewhere. So there's the half a brain right there. You ever finish a trading day just completely befuddled with how you missed stuff that you even had on watch and met your parameters? That's what I did today. So I was going to go try to find sit on a mountaintop and do some meditating and get back in touch with myself, but I live in Florida, so the only thing you can find is like a huge anthill, and I don't really want to sit on one of those. So I'm going to leave it at that. I did have a couple afternoon short calls looking for late day reversals that you can imagine did not work. So I wasn't exactly on fire today. Wayne with a really nice call. Also, we got a guy, Jordy or Yordi, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, starts with a J, J-O-R-D-I, and Leo also gave a reminder of LNG here. LNG was nice and strong on this pullback here. They called it over this candle using a method we teach, 1445, worst case stop, 1437, less than a dime risk, and from 1445 never stopped out and got to 15. So a couple really nice heads up by some members in there, and I know I'm leaving some people out. Didn't write down all the great calls in chat today, but none of them were by me. So I'm going to let you go and go sit on an anthill or something, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.